sao còn mãi lưu can sự, nó giống phong tiêu giống ánh hào.
Before entering the desert to meditate, Prime Minister Kwan Min Dao sold all his personal assets to help the desperate compatriots in 17 communist refugee camps in Southeast Asia. Along with relations with the United States and Thailand, Hong Kong, the Philippines, Malaysia, and Indonesia to find ways to help his compatriots, he also sent his men to mobilize other countries around the world to accept refugees. He was recognized by the Vanuatu government to resettle 50,000 Vietnamese refugees in a document signed on March 11, 1991, by the Kuwait government to resettle 200,000 people in a document signed on July 24, 1991. While the refugees were hopeless, no country had yet come forward to help. They had their own struggles by going on a hunger strike, dissecting their stomachs, and setting themselves on fire. So he sent his man to refugee camps to comfort and appease. At the same time, he led to form the New Democracy teams to guide and train people who do not accept the communist regime in 17 camps. Southeast Asian refugees fought for this political asylum. The struggle against forced reparation by method of peaceful but disciplined and fierce, directed by His Holiness, was successful. Finally, an agreement was reached. The U.S. accepted 15,000 settlers, and the remaining 185,000 people agreed on reparation under the auspices of the United Nations and the CPA Fund, Comprehensive Plan of Action, which he lobbied President Bill Clinton and the U.S. government to approve. This would give the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees a budget of $14 million to help compatriots.
On August 23, 1991, Imperial Duke Prime Minister Kwan Min Dao was invited to give speak at the Ukraine Independence Forum, consisting of 11 Soviet states fighting for Ukraine's independence. His daughter, Tina Dao, 11 years old, said on behalf of the Prime Minister,
"Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tina Dao, a member of the New Vietnamese Democracy Movement. I am honored and glad to be here today to present to you this letter from the Prime Minister of the National Government of Vietnam to send to all of you. To Ukrainian, the heroes of freedom, democracy, and independence. To all friends, heroes, who are demanding and supporting democracy and independence. On behalf of the National Government of Vietnam and the friendship between Vietnamese and Ukrainians, we are sending to you our best wishes for a successful campaign for Ukrainians' declaration of independence. We are fighting for the freedom, the new democracy, the peace, and the order of the whole world, and also the future of ourselves and our children. Communism must be eliminated. Down with the communism! Down with the communism! Down with the communism! We must hold together, all loving freedom and independence people. Our country must be prosperous, and our children should not have to suffer any more like we are. They must be born and to grow into manhood with smiling, brightened, cheerful, morality, and sufficiency. No one can stop this basic right of the people. No one can extinguish this fire in the hearts of the people. The end of communism has come. We hope that all people suppressed by communism and all the freedom and new democracy, loving people would become allies to support the common cause of mankind, to overthrow the last remnants of communism. In a happy day like today, we wish all of you, our friends, to be successful in peace and expand because of your bravery, your energy, and your intelligence. Long live friendship of the loving freedom and new democracy people. from the Prime Minister of the National Government of Vietnam, Minh Quân. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Tina.
On February 16, 1992, on the first anniversary of Imperial Duke's appointment as Prime Minister, prominent U.S. guests and politicians were present. Sir Barry Thaxton, chairman of the American Allies Commission, stated the following.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a pleasure to be here today, and I must say I'm very proud to be associated with the Vietnam Thanh Dien Chu and with our Prime Minister, Minh Quân. Today is a special occasion, and as I can see by all the faces, everybody is very attentive and very proud to be here. The Vietnam Thanh Dien Chu, a common cause, a common goal to gain freedom and the right to live and prosper in Vietnam. The freedom of choice and the pursuit of happiness. These are all our basic rights, our basic needs. We've been hurt in the past years. Now it's time for a change. Communism, the disease of the world, communism, the disease of Vietnam, must be destroyed, must be finished forever. Communism is our common enemy. The United States, the people here today, our country. Vietnam has that disease. We must join together as a strong force, personally, emotionally, religiously, financially, to eliminate this problem forever. The pain, the suffering that we see on these walls, when I see that, I hurt inside. I really hurt inside. If everyone in the United States could see these pictures, they would cry. Because this is not human. This is like treating people like animals. Communism is the common enemy of the Allied Associates of America, of the Vietnam Thanh Dien Chu. Next month, I'm bringing a personal message to President Bush. On March the 12th, I will announce to him and bring it to his attention what the suffering really is. I want him to see these pictures. I want him to understand what's going on in the hearts of the people of Vietnam. Enough is enough. The time has come for a change, and the change is for communism gone forever. Sometimes we get a little emotional. We all stand together as one, strong and unified through our belief and our faith in God, and the knowledge that the Vietnam Thanh Dien Chu, through our strong, proud leader, Prime Minister Minh Quân, one day soon, once again, I want to thank you for this golden opportunity, and it's been a great pleasure. I hope to work closely with all of you. Thank you.
In 1988, he purchased 40 acres of land in San Bernardino County at 10800 Sierra Road, Adelanto, California, 92301, and used it as the headquarters of the Provisional National Government of Vietnam, Republic of Vietnam III. This is the place where Imperial Duke practiced meditation for more than 20 years to find a way to save the country and save his compatriots from the domination of the Communist Party of Vietnam and Chinese aggression with the path of peace and avoiding war, suffering, and pain for everyone. In this land, he and his compadres built the Hero Gathering Station, the holy temple to commemorate the national soldiers and compatriots who sacrificed for the cause of freedom. He also built steles in memory of 5 general gods who sacrificed their lives not to surrender by suicide, the Vietnamese unknown heroes, and the Hexagon Monument to pay respects and gratitude to the 58,721 U.S. service members, including his comrades, who fought and sacrificed to defend for the cause of freedom of Vietnam for April 30th, 1975.
On August 29, 1993, Prime Minister Quan Minh was invited by the scientist Bill Todorov, along with the president of the Indian Association of Engineers and Experts, to be the chairman of the world's first solar congress in the Ramada Anaheim Hotel conference room to announce the establishment of Sun Energy Development International Company, SEDI. At the conference, scientist Bill Todorov lectured other scientists on solar, which turns solar heat into atomic energy, 100,000 times more powerful than the conventional solar that Chinese is using to turn solar heat into heat energy.
On November 2nd, 1993, he issued a statement denying all contractual agreements of any partner with the Communist Party of Vietnam. In 1994, President Bill Clinton twice sent a note to the Prime Minister of the PNG-VN for the long-term cooperation process for the world's democracy and prosperity. In 2001, he received a note from U.S. Secretary of State General Colin Powell. The parallel relationship between the PNG-VN and the U.S. government, as well as its allies, is through the relentless efforts of Prime Minister Quang Minh Dao.
On July 5th, 2005, he was invited by Congressman Gary Miller to speak at the U.S. Republican Convention. In the attention of hundreds of guests who were leading U.S. politicians, congressmen, and financiers. From the dinner table, he calmly stepped onto the stage and solemnly gave his speech.
At this time, we'd like to bring up the Prime Minister of the Provisional National Government of Vietnam, the Honorable Quang Minh Dao.
Honored guests and Congressman Miller, thank you for your kind introduction and this great opportunity to address all of you today as friends. I'm very honored to be among dignified Republicans. We live in a time when we witness firsthand the spread of democracy. The struggle against oppression and tyranny is born out of natural law and the most basic human desire for freedom. Recent elections in Afghanistan and Iraq send a strong message to oppressive governments that democracy is contagious. This week marks the 30th anniversary of the fall of Saigon. I, like many national refugees, immigrated to this country 30 years ago on less than seaworthy vessels. We risked everything in order to secure our freedom and now have established a rich community and heritage here in Southern California that cherishes the ability to participate in the political process. I am here today as the Prime Minister to the Provisional National Government of Vietnam to share witness to the continuing struggle against the communist regime both here, where our numbers are strong, and in the homeland. Wherever communism exists, the world is not safe. And for that reason, we must continually fight in the name of democracy and for our children's freedom, future. We will never forget and will always deeply appreciate on those who have sacrificed for freedom and democracy, including on our soldiers, POWs, and MIAs. Thank you for your recognition and support, and God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you. And I have a gift for Congressman Miller.
For the second time, Congressman Gary Miller invited him to speak at the Republican convention in the presence of generals, international tourists, and former nationalist Edward Nixon on October 15, 2010, at the Nixon Library. He declared sovereignty over the EC, including the Hong Sa and Trong Sa archipelagos belonging to the Republic of Vietnam.
Introducing this group to Quan Minh Dao, a longtime friend of mine, who is the provisional Prime Minister of Vietnam. Now, what does that mean? The people of Vietnam, and especially the people in California, which is the largest group of immigrant Vietnamese free community members, have consistently chosen Prime Minister Dao as their provisional leader when, and I say when, not if, the Vietnamese government brings back free elections in a democratic society. That's going to happen. He's here today, and I wish I could share with you some of the many incredible stories of bravery and heroism that he's gone through, but time really doesn't permit. So today, he's here to speak a few short words about his journey, the journey of the group, and the appreciation that he has for the U.S. government, President Nixon, and now very much. Time to get out. Thank you very much. Dear honored staffs and guests presenting today, thank you for your kind introduction and this opportunity to address all of you as friends. I'm much honored to be here. We live in a time when we witness firsthand the threat of democracy ideals, the struggle against oppression and tyranny born out in God's natural law and the most basic human desire for freedom and self-determination. After the Second World War, then by President Nixon settled between America and Asia to plan the seeds of democracy, to oppose the bloody communist agenda, trying to seize total power and total control of the Vietnamese people. President Nixon inherited the war in Vietnam, and he reminded the American people that there is no substitute for victory. We remember that slogan, Nixon is the one. President Nixon worked with a reluctant Congress to bring about that victory. President Nixon did successfully secure the peace agreement, and both sides, North and South, signed in Sacramento, California of 1973. The Congress of the United States later voted to cut assistance to the government of Vietnam. Emboldened by this vote, the Communist North attacked the South and brought the peace. President Nixon was working at the time with the President Nguyễn Văn Thiệu to secure oil development contracts with American oil companies to develop offshore oil deposits. The income from this oil development was to assist the Vietnamese government to become financially self-supporting. The contracts of drilling oils offshore were supposed to be signed in Sacramento, California in 1973. We, the Vietnamese of Republic of Vietnam, South Vietnam, being deprived from development that lucrative and settled national resource for the benefit of the people. The form of the freely elected government occurred in 1975. We, the people of the Republic of Vietnam, always appreciate President Nixon. President Nixon's heroic action for the people and for our freedom. President Nixon's effort to sow the seeds of freedom have borne fruit. The generous U.S. policies and strategies have helped the war. Succeeding U.S. presidencies have also freed the people of Iraq, in Afghanistan, and in so many other countries. On behalf of the Vietnamese who do not want communism, nor disguised form of socialism, and I assure you there is a large contingent of people in Vietnam, including ex-communists, who share this viewpoint. I, the successor of Republic of Vietnamese nation government, the elected Prime Minister of the Provisional National Government of Vietnam, affirm my full support for the humanitarian free market policies of the United States of America. Representing the Vietnamese people, the rightful government of sovereign Vietnam, I offer to devote strategies and my own government to prevent the clash of foreign powers in Vietnam and for free international water trade routes around Vietnam. We seek a fair and even-handed oil policy for the benefit of the citizens of Vietnam, not to enrich a corrupt communist government. There are many free market ideas we wish to incorporate in the culture of Vietnam that helps on to prosper. The people of Vietnam wish to live in peace with our neighbors and to enjoy the fruits of our labors in freedom. President Nixon knew this very well. President Nixon worked tirelessly for cause of freedom and for the people of Vietnam. Let us today honor that work. Let us stand up, unite together, and bring freedom to the suffering people of Vietnam. Again, today, October 15, 2010, let us witness the day of freedom and democracy that will definitively prevail. I also wish the best for Honorable Representative Gary Mueller. Thank you all very much for your recognition and your support. May God bless you in your work, and may God bless the United States of America and a free Vietnam. Thank you.
On October October 25, 2015, the Prime Minister signed a decree 002/251/02015/SL/TT, allowing the U.S. Navy and its allies to enter Vietnam's continental shelf to protect Vietnam's territorial waters.
On April 30th, 2016, the U.S. delegation came to Orange County to honor Prime Minister Quan Minh Dao's 30 years of community service and leadership in the struggle to dissolve the communist power. Sir Jim Daytona Jr., son of Sir Jim Daytona, president of Government Impact Jim Daytona, and the representative from the city of Los Angeles spoke at the ceremony, saying this.
Good afternoon. My name is Jim Daytona Jr. Thank you for having me today. I'm here on behalf of the City of Los Angeles to honor and recognize the Honorable Prime Minister for the incredible efforts he has made for the Vietnamese community here in the United States and also abroad throughout the world. We also want to recognize the amazing work he has done in the business community to create jobs, to create economic investment here in this country. And so on behalf of the City of Los Angeles, we have created a resolution signed by the Mayor of the City of Los Angeles, Eric Garcetti, City Attorney Mike Feuer, City Controller Ron Galpern, and the leadership of the Los Angeles City Council, Councilman Herb Wesson, Councilman Mitch Englander, and Councilwoman Nuri Martinez, and to honor the Prime Minister and thank him for all of his efforts and how much it means to us in government who represent the people and throughout the world. Thank you so much, sir.
Mr. Jim Daytona presented the Los Angeles government's certificate of recognition to Prime Minister Quan Minh Dao. He said,
however, this resolution is also from the state of California, saluting the Prime Minister for all the great things he's done for the Vietnamese Americans, for those who are abroad in refugee camps, and really for never losing heart and remembering the people and the history of what went on in Vietnam, what is going on in Vietnam. And because of that, I can honestly tell you, I've known the Prime Minister some time now. He is one of the most honorable people I know. I am totally impressed by him. I will also say that the people from the White House send their best to you, the President and the Vice President. And again, this is a presentation from the state of California. I'm proud to give it to him. And I know Senator Roberti will be here shortly to address the whole group. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mr. David Roberti, President of the California Assembly, read the resolution to honor Prime Minister Quan Minh Dao.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm really honored to be here on this celebration for the Prime Minister, Dao Minh Quan. And it is important for all of us to speak to groups who want to keep freedom alive. And that's what you are doing with your government and with your Vietnamese community in California. We honor the Prime Minister, and we honor people for a number of things. We honor them for courage. And Prime Minister, I was impressed to read your background, where you were a leader of political warfare. You were a leader of the Black Tigers. You are a very brave man for all that you believe in. So so we honor people for their courage in fighting for what they believe in, but we also honor people for their accomplishments as well. And so I applaud you on this year commemorating your election as Prime Minister of your people. And know that the day will come, one day in the future, we don't know when, that Vietnam will be free again. So I say that because your group is very important, not only for all the work you do, but because you keep hope alive. And hope must be kept alive for all the people who struggle for freedom. We don't know when, we don't know how, but we know if you keep hope alive, that great day will come for Vietnam as well. So I'm proud to have been asked to present this resolution in honor of the Prime Minister, and to say that I am truly impressed by a man who has reached the heights among his people, as you have, Mr. Prime Minister, but who has shown extraordinary courage in fighting for the people of Vietnam and continuing that struggle to this very day.
On the night of November 19, 2016, the Imperial Duke Prime Minister presided over the Congress of the EC Rises with the theme Domestic Compatriots in Our Hearts at Saigon Performing Arts Center, Fountain Valley, California. This is the opening for the institutional revival of the Republic of Vietnam, starting from overseas to homeland. On February 18, 2017, during the Dien Hung Conference held at Performance Arts Center, Fountain Valley, California, chaired by Imperial Duke Prime Minister Quang Minh Dao, the national government of Vietnam approved the content and results of the parallelization of strategies between the governments of Vietnam and U.S. government. After being pressured by the United States, the National Assembly of the Communist Party of Vietnam had to approve the law of referendum on November 25, 2015, consisting of 8 chapters and 52 articles, effective from July 1, 2016. According to the law of the National Assembly of VCP, the results of the collection of people's opinions are decisive for the issue of the referendum, effective from the date of publication. When the content of referendum is approved by more than half of the valid votes, it is automatically valid. The current referendum is to collect opinions from the people to support Prime Minister Quang Minh Dao as president, to depose Nguyen Phu Trong, and to replace the Communist Party of Vietnam with the Republic of Vietnam, and to replace the bloody red flag of Phu Dien with the yellow flag with 3 red stripes. Next is on the event of February 16, 2018 at the Vietnam American Monument, 14180 All-American Way, Westminster, California, 92684. Prime Minister Dao lit the sacred torch, enlightening the Third Republic of Vietnam, following the First and Second Republic on Vietnam. On that great day, he declared, "Republic of Vietnam was buried but not dead with the strategic evacuation abroad." And on the 28th of April 2018, he presided over the Republic of Vietnam Renaissance Congress at the Vietnam American Monument. When the number of referendum votes reached nearly 5 million, many members of the PNGVN, representing compatriots from all over the world, especially those from homeland, made petitions hoping for PM Quang Minh Dao to coronate the 3rd president of the Republic of Vietnam, so that the nation of Vietnam, as a head of state that goes in hand with its allies more easily for the process of returning home, to dissolve the communist evil power. On October 12, 2018, the standing office submitted the petition to the Prime Minister to be president, hoping that he would agree with the will of the representative of the entire Vietnamese, including elders, middle-aged, and youth, selected November 11, 2018, to be crowned the 3rd President of the Republic of Vietnam. The representative of the Vietnamese people announced the dissolution of the evil power of the Communist Party of Vietnam.
The inauguration ceremony of the 3rd President of the Republic of Vietnam was held on the autumn day of the goat, the zodiac time, the month of the pig, the year of the dog at 11:11 a.m. at noon, November 11, 2018. It is also the death day of the Communist Party of Vietnam. On the occasion of the Coronation Day, he confided in the national people that
Tôi là Trung úy Quân lực Việt Nam Cộng Hòa, hiện là Thủ tướng Chính phủ Quốc gia Việt Nam lâm thời. Trước hết, xin thắp nén tâm hương, tế cáo thiên địa và sau là trân trọng trình lên quốc dân đồng bào Việt Nam những tâm tình, mục đích và chương trình sơ lược. Sau khi tôi quyết định nhận trọng nhiệm Tổng thống Đệ Tam Việt Nam Cộng Hòa.
he always kept in mind the valuable lesson that the late President Ngoc Dien Diem taught posterity. Morality conquers crime, truth conquers over lies, love conquers hatred. With the same ethical basis as above, the principles of President Quan Minh Dao are uphold truth, overturn communist, regain ancestral lands, end populist suffering, Vietnamese communists quit communist, still Vietnamese. Vietnamese will not kill Vietnamese. This humane concept is the torch that lights the way for the PNGVN, led by him and the foundation of the Third Republic of Vietnam. He often says, the will of the people is the will of heaven. People are the priority, country is second, king is lightly. After being crowned as president, he takes time to train his colleagues and prepare personnel for government cabinet and signed the Constitution of the Republic of Vietnam on February 16, 2020. Currently, there are more than 10 million Vietnamese, most of which are from the homeland, and they elected him to be on behalf of their citizenship to reclaim the country's sovereignty for Vietnam from the communists. The first National Assembly of the end was written in the Constitution of the Republic of Vietnam.
Applying the strategy Uphold Truth, Overturn Communist, he has initiated lawsuits against Communist China and the Communist Vietnam since he was still as the Prime Minister of the PNGVN. On February 16, 2013, he applied to the International Criminal Court, P.O. Box 19519-2500 The Hague, Netherlands, to sue 19 communist oligarchs. At the same time, he announced the crimes of the Communist Party of Vietnam in all media, as well as through diplomatic notes with the U.S. and the European Union. He received responses from allied countries confirming the crimes of the Communist Party of Vietnam, as well as responses from the ICC. On August 30th, 2014, he continued to file a lawsuit to the ICC demanding that China return to Hang Sa and Trong Sa archipelagos to the Republic of Vietnam. On April 19, 2015, he announced in front of the international press that he would sue China for the genocide by using Ho Chi Minh as spy to wage the Vietnam War and causing a lot of pain and loss to the nation of Vietnam. Next, on May 15, 2015, he filed a lawsuit at ICC demanding that China compensate the Vietnamese people for $15 trillion. On July 21, 2016, he filed an application to the U.S. federal court against China's Formosa company. After consulting many international lawyers, he combined crimes of Communist China into a lawsuit, excluding the Formosa and the Vietnamese communist cases, demanding China to compensate the Vietnamese people for $36 trillion, which was submitted to the ICC for the second time and published on August 17, 2018. This lawsuit was later supplemented by U.S. lawyers, bringing it to a compensation of $38 billion and sent to the ICC, the U.S. Federal Court, and the International Environmental Court.
Finally, on April 14, 2021, the ruling of the International Environmental Court was for the plaintiff, Imperial Duke President Quan Minh Dao, and ordered Communist China to compensate him $38 trillion and with an interest of 8% for every trimester. The court's decision also granted him authority to set up a law enforcement agency to hunt down criminals. Moreover, court ordered each of the 1.5 million Vietnamese communist oligarchs to pay him $20,000 million. During the American Patriot Congress on April 16, 2021, Lieutenant General Lam I Hao, acting Minister of Foreign Affairs of the PNGVN-3rd RVN, was invited to speak about this historic history in front of thousands of American patriots and generals. Here she is.
Before I want to do the speech, I just want to say USA! USA! Thank you very much for inviting us here today, and especially you have us on the stage. Secondly, I want to thank you, Clay Club, who organized this event, this conference. Thank you. Yeah. And dear patriots, we, Wei Lam, Lieutenant General of Republic of Vietnam, and our delegation. We have 3 people here, and on behalf of our Honorable President Minh Quân of Republic of Vietnam, Provisional National Government of Vietnam, are here today. We wish you to have a successful conference. We want all of you, patriots here today, to celebrate with us our victory that we just won the lawsuit 38 trillion against the Chinese communists. The judgment was just declared and delivered by the International Environmental Court 2 days ago, and was there with us. So this victory will be shared with the Americans and Vietnamese. So it's time, God said it's time. With this victory, we will make America great again. We will make Vietnam free again. We support President Minh Quân. We support President Minh Quân. And we support President Minh Quân. Down with communism. Down with communism. We want down communism. Thank you. God bless everyone and your families. God bless America and Vietnam.
According to the decision of the International Environmental Court number ENC 201215 dated April 14th, 2021, Imperial Duke President Quang Minh Dao was nominated to organize and lead the operation of the World International Environmental Marshall Organization. The International Environment Court also authorized the implementation of his declaration of an international environmental emergency in the interest of public health and the general welfare of people worldwide with a paramount important function. After receiving the request of the International Environment Court, he agreed to study the responsibility of operating the International Environmental Marshals, IEM, with the request of the support of the governments and peoples of free countries, respect human rights, and strictly abide by the law. If he accepts the assignment, he will establish the IEM office in Vietnam first to contribute to protecting the environment, promoting justice, and enforcing the principles of the law, especially in areas still under communist occupation. From that foundation, the Provisional National Government of Vietnam, the Third Republic of Vietnam, has also initiated the establishment of a government for the world and looking for people who are aesthetic, courageous, intelligent, loving all beings, and respecting the law to participate the Advocacy Council of the World Government, as his calling 36 years before when he proclaimed the new democratic era in 1987.
The military and the people of Vietnam are unanimously petitioning him to take the throne as Emperor of Vietnam, according to Vietnamese tradition, and to revive the life stream of the Vietnamese people since the time of the ancestors of Dai Viet. As a descendant of royal family and Dai Viet loyalty, the President of the Republic of Vietnam, the President of International Environmental Organization, and the historic winner of $38 trillion lawsuit against Communist China, the major debt creditor for the Vietnamese communist oligarchs, he is the noblest leader of Vietnam today. Furthermore, Imperial Duke Quan Minh is also a leader with deep love for the nation. He's sacrificed, he has understanding, patience, sincerity, tolerance, forgiveness, and the ability to point out wise and peaceful paths to protect the nation and humanity, including all beings, to live in peace and enjoy the harmony, holy, and be truly happy in the Golden Age era. So now, the military and people of Vietnam and all the members of the Third Republic of Vietnam and those who love freedom, justice, and peace and their companions around the world are appealing to Imperial Duke Quan Minh Dao to take the throne as Empire of Dai Viet and accept the responsibility of leading the government of the world. www.governmentoftheworld.org or governmentoftheworld.net.